Hey guys, we're back here with another body kit comparison video. So here we have the Launsport 22B kit, and then our coupe behind us here we have the Aerosim WRC kit. This one is completely carbon fiber, this one is completely fiberglass. What we're gonna do is take off the bumpers on the coupe, put on the Launsport bumpers, and we're gonna put the Launsport kit on one side of the car and leave the Aerosim on the other side of the car and go through some of the differences. Right off the hop here, I want to get into some of the obvious differences. We have the Aerosim, it is made out of carbon fiber. Then we have the Launsport, it is made out of fiberglass. The Aerosim, upon arrival, you are drilling all the holes for absolutely everything in it. It is just the shape of the body parts to begin with. You are doing everything else all on your own. Whereas the Launsport, they have done absolutely everything, even down to grills in the bumpers. They have mounting tabs for everything. Every hole is drilled out to put the kit on, as well as even tabs for fender liners, tabs going to the bumper beams for the front and rear. So really well put together kit, and it is very obvious looking at the quality and the finish of this kit. The Launsport kit is pretty much like get it on the car, prep it, and you can paint it. It's pretty incredible, like really, really nice stuff. The Launsport kit is actually my own personal kit. I bought this a while ago to put on my coupe, and hopefully one of these days I actually get the opportunity to do it. Back over to the Aerosim here, I have no complaints about the actual molding of this body kit, like when it was manufactured and made. It is very, very well fit to the car. The profiles are almost bang on, very minimal tweaking to get it looking OEM spec. Again, this is something you should expect with a kit like this. Even though these are no longer available, this is a high price tag kit. We're gonna peg this at, $10,000 for this kit. And we're gonna peg the Launsport kit at about $5,000. Well, let's get to it. I'm gonna go ahead, get the Aerosim parts off of the coupe, and we're gonna throw the Launsport parts onto the coupe and kind of do another walk around there. We've now got half of the Launsport kit on the car. I'm gonna go around, kind of show you some of the differences. They should be pretty obvious in the video just before this. But we'll do a quick walk around and show you what's going on, pull the pieces back off, and kind of lay them down in front of each other so you can see, again, some of the detail differences between the WRC kit and this particular 22B kit. So before getting into the details on the Launsport kit, I just want to note that the kit is 100%, everything is just kind of hanging. Nothing is actually bolted up, so I mean, don't completely judge its fitment. I believe it has incredible potential to fit really well. You can see there the bumper actually has mount tabs to go up and match the fender tabs. So this is a really well thought out kit. Again, this is actually just sticking in the hole. These are garbage lights. We're actually just using these to fit kits so that we're not messing around with any good lights, so I'll just kind of stick them there. Looks great. This actually is a good light, so I'll go ahead here, pull it out. Unlike the Aerosim, this comes with the mount hole already there and a mounting tab already there, and they are absolutely bang on, as well as this hole is actually cut out. The Aerosim, originally none of that was there. You have to do it all yourself. This light fits absolutely perfect. Send a screw in there and you're good to go. Fog light covers as well are already pre-fit, which on the Aerosim, that was not something that they came with. Even cooler is behind these fog light covers, it's already cut out with actual mounts for the fog light. So again, very, very thoughtful kit development. Mesh, mesh, mesh. This little detail I wouldn't say is a shortcoming on the Aerosim. The Aerosim is a WRC replica. They didn't necessarily have the badge placement like this. Some of them had the badge just down on the bottom. Some of them had no badge at all. So this, again, because it's a 22B replica, it does have the badge and the complete grille that goes all the way across there, whereas the WRC does not. As for the actual fit, as it's just hanging there on the bumper beam, it is excellent amongst the headlights and excellent amongst the hood. There we go, we'll just shove her in a little bit, but really, really, really nice profile fit there. And as we move around to the hybrid section, again, like the previous body kit we showed you guys, the Aerosim is a WRC replica, so it has the high arch, whereas the Launsport is a 22B replica, and it's going to be the standard arch. So our bumper comes further because normally our arch would go along like that. On the Aerosim, we had to cut these guys into place. On the Launsport, the hole is already there. We do have a really big gap here, but the reason we have a really big gap here is because to fit the Aerosim kit, we actually have been cutting back our door. So I won't blame the Launsport kit for this big gap because we have cut a bunch of the front of the door off. The side skirt looks really, really good, really nice shape, and fits really, really well to the profile of the car. Again, I just have a cardboard box holding it up. Then moving into the quarter panel here, the Launsport, again, being a replica rather than a WRC kit, it does retain a normal fuel door style. It actually includes this recessed like filler trim here. So it's a little deeper than the factory one you would get on your car. So now you don't have to develop something to make this meet the body. And then here I would like to point out there is an under piece and a tab, which to make that fit perfect, I either have to cut the kit or I need to cut the car further. But this car is getting the Aerosim kit, so I'm not going to chop up the car any further than I have to, just to make like a fit example video. So we'll just imagine that that gap is not there, but I cannot push the kit in any further without taking more of the car away. As far as the profile potential from the Launsport molding on to the original quarter panel, it is really good. It's a really tight fit, so this is really nice. This would actually work out quite well. Then last but not least, we have the rear bumper. So again, very thoughtful with some internal mounting tabs there. They've got a slot here, which would kind of be the joint between the wheel well and the rear apron. So you'll see on the other side, I've actually made something like this in the Aerosim kit. I like how this has a really big filler here. I feel like by the time we get our quarter panel in to where it's supposed to go, this filler would actually save me from having to make a metal filler like I did for the Aerosim kit on the other side. Then checking out the bumper itself, you'll find later when I show you panel beside panel, the 22B only has this one little body line, whereas the WRC replica kind of has a rib all the way across. This is a really nice looking bumper, has a nice cutout underneath. And it is complete with a tailpipe cutout as well. Plate section is pre-cut. As far as the profile to the car, this thing fits absolutely awesome. Looks really, really good. And then there we are, ending back at the other side with the Aerosim WRC. And you can see there, again, our bumper comes further because this is a standard arch kit that would normally follow along like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead, quickly pull off the rest of the Launsport kit and lay out each panel with the corresponding panel of the Aerosim kit, do a quick fly over those ones, and we'll wrap it up after that. In the final stretch of the comparison video here, we are going over the front bumpers first. So very similar. This has a little bit more of a protrusion here, whereas the Aerosim is rather flat, but again, they are not supposed to be the exact same kit. The Aerosim, we've already put on this front lip. Well, we've at least made the holes. So the holes are there before we get into primer and cover up this beautiful carbon fiber. So over here at the fog light hole, they do come with fog light covers, required a lot of trimming. We still have not actually cut out our circle for a potential fog light. And then we're gonna have to make something to make it mount up there. It's a pretty tight fit getting that guy in and out. Over to our signal hole we've made there. On the Launsport here, I popped off the fog light cover to give you guys an example. So it comes with a tab already there and hardware as well. And it actually fits very, very well into the hole, but it also has mounts there for a fog light if you want to actually put a fog light in. So that is really cool. Little subtle differences here. The chin coming out on the WRC is rather sharp compared to the chin coming out on the 22B is rather subtle. Then lastly, you can see the 22B has a complete grille, even a cutout for the hood pop. And the WRC has just the wings coming up there, and then typically you would mesh across there, and that is it. Onto the rear bumpers. As I said earlier, the WRC kind of has a rib going all the way around. So you can see that. This is similar to like an early stock GC8 bumper as well. Would have had this rib. Whereas the Launsport's 22B just has the one lower body line, so it does make it look really clean. Into the center here, we have kind of an outline for a plate light. Nothing for a plate, but that's simple enough. Here we have a plate hole. This is for like the Japanese flip-up plate, so this actually doesn't totally help us here in North America. So for the rear under bumper, they have the same cutout. The Aerosim has these little ribs, which do look pretty cool. You can see them there. Launsport, same cutout profile, does not have the little ribs, but it does have a muffler tailpipe cutout. Over to the fenders, they are very similar other than the arch height. The Launsport again has all the holes already there, and it actually already has tabs for the fender liner, which is really nice. The Aerosim, again, no tabs, because in reality there actually isn't a fender liner you could really use for the WRC kit that's going to necessarily line up to any holes, so you're kind of on your own making something for in there. Then over to the skirts, obviously we are expecting two completely different animals amongst these. So the Aerosim here kind of tucks in behind the fender and in behind the quarter panel. It has a very basic shape to it, but on the car, when this is on the car, it actually looks really, really good. Then the Launsport skirt, which as you saw there, runs the full length of the car. It's got all sorts of beautiful shapes to it, and it does fit really nice. Then over to the quarter panels, obviously we are expecting some very different stuff between these. As you can see, the skirt shape is kind of integrated into the Aerosim one. And then they have the C-pillar piece actually starting to go up the C-pillar. The Aerosim is meant to actually use an airplane fuel filler cap. So we do have one of those to put in there to make it right and make it look tight. Then over to the 22B kit, we have some impressions for some clips for the skirts, which I'm not sure how I'm actually gonna go about fitting this rear section of the quarter to the skirts. So that will be determined when we get into that. We are using a plain Jane fuel door type setup. As you can see, there is no material coming up there for the C-pillar, so that is another slight difference. But we do have a really nice wheel well looking lip there, so it's pretty cool. And then again, this is a little different with the Launsport versus the Aerosim. We have the tab that goes in and then it actually drops down. So it's nice that you have the additional material depending on how you want to install it. But that is what you get there with the Aerosim. Gonna wrap up the video there for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this side-by-side comparison of the Launsport 22B kit up against the Aerosim WRC kit. In conclusion, both of these kits are top tier among their category. They're both two different animals. The Aerosim significantly lighter with the complete carbon fiber structure against the very highly detailed Launsport kit in the fiberglass there. Overall, at the end of the day, you will not be able to get an Aerosim kit. If you are looking for some sort of wide body solution for your coupe overall, the Launsport 22B, Launsport actually does have different versions of the coupe kit. They have a WRC kit as well and a couple versions of it, if I'm not mistaken. I chose the 22B just because that was my preference, but it is without a doubt absolutely top tier quality in its manufacturing and fit versus some other kits that I won't name that are a little less perfect. I've handled almost every single brand of Subaru wide body or replica kit, and if I had to choose, and I already did choose, to put one on my own car, that Aerosim is not available. The Launsport is my next best option. All right, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already to actually follow the Aerosim coupe build along through to the finish. This is gonna be a super rad build. I am really excited to be a part of this and to be doing it. The owner has a really great overall vision for the car, so I am very much looking forward to bringing it up to that point. Till the next one, guys.